अरहंत सिद्ध सुर उपाध्याय साधु सर्व अर्थ के प्रकाशी मांगलिक उपकारी है। तीन को स्वरूप जानी रागते भई जो भक्ति काय को नमाए स्तुति को उच्चारी है। धन्य धन्य तुम्ही से काज सब आज भयो कर चोरी बारंबार वंदना हमारी है। मंगल कल्याण सुख ऐसो हम चाहते हो मेरी ऐसी दशा जैसी तुम धारी है। हो मेरी ऐसी दशा जैसी तुम धारी है। Acharya Uma Swami has written the script Tattvat Sutra. We will do the Manglacharan of Tattvat Sutra now. मोक्ष मार्गस्य नेतारं पेतारं कर्म भूभृतां ज्ञातारं विश्वतत्त्वानां वन्दे तद्गुणलब्धये. So we had completed 4 sutras from Tattvat Sutra chapter 1. Today we will be starting with sutra number 5. So the main theme in this chapter is how do we know the 7 fundamental elements? What are the tools to know it? This is the one topic that is covered here, and the other is the path of liberation, that is right belief, right knowledge, and right conduct. How do we know that? So both the things, the 3 gems, Ratnatraya, and the 7 fundamentals. How do we know them? So we will be discussing today 3 types of tools depending on who is reading. So first set of tool is Praman and Nyay, which is for the people who are having less interest. Then those who are having a medium level of interest, for them there is another tool, and then with people with intense interest, they have another kind of tools. So this we will be discussing. Before that, we are going to discuss today Nikshep. Nikshep is a nomenclature, okay, or it is also called investigation of truth or reality. Why it is called nomenclature? It's a system of naming things, okay. For our worldly existence, we have to name things so that we can identify them, we can call them by names. So this is how it is done, okay. So there are 4 types of nomenclature. So what are these 4 types of nomenclature? Here it is written. These are installed by 4 ways. Name, sthapna. Sthapna is representation. Then we have third one is substance and its potentiality, and naam, sthapna, dravya. So it is dravya and bhav. Bhav is actual state. It is also called actuality, okay. It is also called dispositions. We can use all these terms here. So there are 4 ways in which we can express words and the underlying meaning of that word, okay. So these are the 4 ways by which we apply to identify a particular substance. The first one is name, nature. To name the substance by the quality which is absent in it, okay. So absence of bravery yet labeled as Mahavir. somebody is given the name of Mahavir, but in actual, he is not brave, it is not Veer. Okay, so it's just a name only. To name the substance by the quality which is absent in it. So the quality of bravery is absent in that person, but is still being named as Mahavir. The second is representations or symbols. This, that is this, or this is that. To predict this through thoughts or mind. To call, to believe me, to call Mahavir's idol as Mahavir. Okay. Another example could be like while playing chess, we give name of particular uh, objects of chess as elephant, horse, pawn. Although the real elephant, horse, and pawn are not there, but we just name it for the sake to identify it. So similarly, we through the process of sthapna, we uh, in the idol of Mahavir, and we call them as Mahavir. The third in the line is substance and its potentiality. Possessed with qualities or will possess with those qualities. Okay. So again, coming back to the examples of name, uh, many roads in India are named Mahatma Gandhi Road, and most of them have no direct relation with Gandhiji. Okay. Then the third example could be a king or a pauper. Pauper means beggar. A king or a beggar both can choose the name of Rajkumar or Prince for their son. So it is not necessarily that the name, as the name suggests, the quality will be there. Okay. The quality may not be there, but the name suggests so. The second one was Thapna Nikshep, symbol. Okay. Here again, we have given one example of the idols that there are in the temple. Okay. So all the Jain temples have idols of Tirthankar Bhagwan, any of the Tirthankar Bhagwan, which is an example of same shape symbolism. Okay. And the other example that I gave about the chess. The third in the sequence is Dravya Nikshep or substance and its potentiality. So the installation of past or future modification in the present one. Okay. Example, to consider King Vardhaman as Lord Mahavir. So now he is in the position of a king. He has not renounced the household and he has not become a monk. But still he is being referred as Lord Mahavir. To address a teacher of the past as a guru is Dravya Nikshep. To address the prince who is going to be crowned king in the future as a king. He has not become king now, but we call it him a king. A student studying in an MBBS college, we call him doctor. Although he's just now studying, he's in the second year. Another 2 years will happen and then 1 year's internship and then he will become a doctor. But we still, I mean, Dr. Sahab aage, doctor has come. So like that. So this was Dravya Nikshep. And the last one is, sorry, actuality. That is called Bhav Nikshep. The depiction of present modification. Sorry, the depiction of present modification in its actual sense is Bhav Nikshep. So, what would be an example? To address Simandar Swami as Tirthankar is Bhav Nikshep, as he is actually in that modification in Mahavideshetra. Okay. To address Simandar Swami as Tirthankar is Bhav Nikshep, as he is actually in that modification in Mahavideh Sektra. So the Bhav Nikshep presents the actuality of the state. Okay. To address a practicing doctor as doctor. So he is already qualified as a doctor and we are addressing him as a doctor. To address a teaching to address a teacher who is teaching as a teacher is again an example of Bhav Nikshep. So this is all about the 4 Niksheps. The next one, the 6th verse. What was this? 1 minute. Fifth verse, 5th sutra we didn't read, right? So we have to read that. Yes. Nam sthapna dravya bhavat nyasa. Nyas is nikshep only, right? So that was the 5th one. The 6th one. Praman nayer digam. Okay. Praman nayer digamaha. This is the 6th one. Praman nayer ardigama. Knowledge is attained by approved means of comprehensive knowledge. Praman is comprehensive knowledge and real or ultimate viewpoints. So real or ultimate is vyavahar. Okay, real or ultimate viewpoint. So this is the 6th. So there are Praman and the Nay. Praman, Nay. So these are the 2 tools to know to have the knowledge about the 7 fundamentals and the 3 gems. Okay. So we can apply two tools, Praman and Nay. This is also one of the ways of understanding it. Now, for students with less interest, okay, for students with less interest, those who have very little time, the intellect is also not very high, for them these are sufficient. Praman and Nay is sufficient to know the 7 fundamentals and the 3 gems. So there is the chart, ways to know the matter. So it is not the matter, ways to know the 3 gems and 7 elements. You can correct it. It is not the matter, but it is 3 gems and 7 elements. So there are 2 ways. One is Praman and one is Nay. Praman means approved means of comprehensive knowledge. Praman means comprehensive knowledge. Comprehensive knowledge means, like in a substance, there are 3 things. One is substance, second is attributes, and the third one is modification. So when we discuss from the point of view of Praman, we discussed all the 3 as prominent. No single element is being highlighted and others are being ignored. No, that happens in Nay viewpoint. In Nay viewpoint, what happens? You highlight one particular aspect of the substance and all the other aspects are ignored, but they are there, always present, but it is being ignored in the present. So there are 2 ways to know the thing. One is Praman, which is the approved means of comprehensive knowledge. So this Praman Gyan is called the right knowledge, Samyak Gyan. It is complete acceptance of substances. Example, to know the lemon in all ways. Okay. To know the lemon from the viewpoint of substance, to know the lemon from the viewpoint of attributes, and to know the lemon from the viewpoint of its modification is knowing about the lemon. So here all the aspects are prominent. Not a single one is prominent and others are ignored. All are prominent. While when we come to Nay, a part of scriptural knowledge, Shrut Gyan. It's a part of Shrut Gyan. We have Mati Shrut Gyan. Mati Gyan is sensory knowledge and Shrut Gyan is scriptural knowledge. So this viewpoint or Nai is a part of that Shrut Gyan. What it does partial, it it accepts only a part of the substance. Okay, so a part of the substance is being highlighted and other parts are being ignored. That is how a Nai operates. Okay, example, to know only about the lemon juice, to know only about the juice that is there in the lemon. Okay, नींबू के सिर्फ रस को जानना, only the tests. Okay, ras. So this is Nay. So these are the first set of tools. Okay, so we will be now understanding three types of students for whom the Acharya Uma Swami has given three different tools. So the first one, the students with less interest, you know the material, you know the substance through Praman Gyan and Nai Gyan. Okay, this is the first. Now the second is 1.7. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 components to the verse sutra number 7. It is निर्देश स्वामित्व साधनाधिकरण स्थिति vidanata. So all the 6 names are included in this. The first one is nirdesh. Okay, what is this nirdesh? Nirdesh means definition. Okay, then the second one is ownership or swamitva. The third is tools or means or laid, sadhan. What is the nature of these three? First we will discuss first three and then we will be looking at an example of right faith, how we apply this to right faith. So what is the nature? The definition says what is the nature of that particular substance. So here we have taken the example of right faith. So belief in tattvas. Tattvas means fundamental elements. Okay. Or it is called Tattvart Shraddhanam. So this is the example based on right faith. The second is ownership. Who is the owner of this entity? So generally speaking, it is soul, and specific, it is 5 organs with mind. Okay, 5 sense organs with mind. Specifically, it will only those people who has got mind, they can only manifest right faith or right belief. Okay, so it is 5 sensed organs with mind. Then the third one is the cause or the sadhan. Okay, tools or means or laid, cause of origination. Okay, and what is here? Internal and external cause discussed in the latter chart. So there is one more chart in the next page that we will discuss later on. So these are the tools by which we can know about the right faith or right belief. Then the fourth in the sequence is adhikaran. Okay, adhikaran means tribunal or location or resting place. Okay, so location or resting place is a apt name for adhikaran. The nature is the base. On what basis you are manifesting that object? So it is the base. Internal, it is pure self, and external, it is the Lok Nadi. Lok Nadi means the whole three worlds put together. Okay. So uh, soul exists in this thrust Nadi only. Okay. And internally it is the pure soul. Now the next one is the duration, sthiti. It indicates time. Okay, what is the nature of that? It's time. And there are three kinds of time. No, the time is discussed in two ways. One is the minimum and the other is maximum. Okay, so in case of destruction, in case of subsidential right belief, okay, subsidential's right belief, it is minimum or maximum, both are less than 48 minutes. Okay, so whenever a soul manifests right belief for the first time, it is always the upsham samyak darshan. Okay, subsidential right belief, and it lasts for maximum 48 minutes. Within 48 minutes it will get converted. Either it will get converted to shayapsham, or it will get converted to shaik, or it will get converted to uh, mithyatva, first place. Something will happen. The maximum time frame for substantial right belief is 48 minutes. Okay, and minimum could be anything less than 48, was all minimum. Then the second one, shayopsham, destructional cum subsidence. Okay, what is the time limit here? The minimum is 48 minutes and maximum is 66 sagar. Now sagar is a very long period. Okay, so a person can have destructional cum subsidential right belief for a long period of 66 sagars. The third one is destructive. Okay, shaik samyak darshan. So minimum again is antar murat, less than 48 minutes, and the maximum is 33 sagar plus 8 years less than 48 minutes less in 2 purva koti. 33 sagar plus 8 years plus 8 years less than 48 minutes less in 2 purva koti. Okay, so this is the maximum time Saik Samyak Drishti could be in that position. Now, if we consider from the liberation perspective, then it is Sadi Anant. Sadi Anant means those who got a beginning, but there is no end. Okay, so that is called Sadi Anant. So moksha was not previously there, and once you attain moksha, it will remain as it is for infinite time. So there is a beginning, but there is no end to it. The last one and the sixth one is Vidhan. Vidhan is called variety or divisions. Variety or divisions. Okay. What is its nature? It indicates different types. So when we again apply it to the right faith, then it is generally it is one. Based on origination, it is two. The other day we studied about Nisargaj and Adhigamaj. Okay. Nisargaj means without any external help, and Adhigamaj with the help of the preachings or the sermons. The third is based on karma, opshamic, shaik, and shayopshamic. Subsidence, destruction, and destruction comes subsidence. So based on karma, the right belief is of three kinds. Based on origination, it is of two types, nisargaj and adhigamaj. And based on the general, it is only of one type. Okay. Now, based on words, it is numerable, sankhyat. Based in the belief of people, it is innumerable, asankhyaat. And based on the belief in substance, then it is infinite. Okay. So this was the way to know the 7 fundamentals and the 3 gems. This is the second way for student with medium interest. Now, the one thing that we need to discuss is the third one, definition, or fourth one. Tribunal or, no, this was the third one. Tool or means or laid sadhan, okay, cause of origination. So there are two causes, internal cause and external cause, and this is discussed in this chart. Cause of origination of right belief, samyaktva, internal and external. Internal, of course, is the faith deluding karma. Okay. There are 3 types: subsidential, destructive, destruction come subsidence. And from the perspective of external, general cause in all the 4 states of existence is, first is Jati Smaran Gyan. What is this Jati Smaran Gyan? Jati Smaran Gyan is a kind of memory only. Okay. And you are able to connect to your previous births. Okay. Where you were, how many years you were there, what were the conditions there. All these you can be a cause of Samyak Darshan, you know. So this is Jati Smaran Gyan. And the second is the listening to Dharma. These are the general cause. And then there are different reasons in all the 4 states of existence. The reasons are different. The first one, in the hell or the narak, it is also called infernal. Okay, infernal. What is this? Vedanadi bhava, suffering in hell. Okay. So when a soul undergoes great sufferings in hell, then automatically he manifests right belief. It is called Vedanadi Bhava.
So just
Huh.
the quick thing. So this I'm a little lost on following the chapter.
Huh.
So the attachments that we received on WhatsApp, the chapter number 1, 5, 8, and so forth. So
Uh-huh.
I'm trying to look through that chapter. I can't find exactly this page or the
No,
previous pages.
this is only,
So chapter number 1, yeah.
yeah, you just take out.
Yeah, I have it so in front of me. I
Which
am on.
you have taken out from that other book, Vijay Kumar Jain?
No, sir, the PDF that you had shared on the group, no?
10 different chapters, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So this is the same.
So, sir, chapter 1, I'm looking at that.
Huh.
What page number should I go? Because for me,
9.
page number 9. So it says cause of origination of Samyak.
Yes, yes,
That's
yes.
the one, right?
Yeah, right.
Okay.
We are on to that page only. So
Okay.
you can see from the hell, due to the sufferings in hell,
Yeah.
a soul may manifest right belief. That is called Vedana, Vedanabhi Bhava. And in the subhuman state, that is Tiryanj, and human state, that is Manushya. Okay. What is the looking at the idols or the deities of God? Okay. It is not self-realization, it is called Jin Bimb Darshan. So that's why we take out processions, during Mahavir Jayanti or any other functions. And while taking out the procession, we always take the idols along with us. So a crow maybe, or a sparrow, they can just look at the Pratima and they will manifest Samyak Darshan. Okay. Just by looking at the deity or the idol, you can manifest self-realization. Okay. So this is applicable to subhuman state and the human state. Okay. Of course, in human state, we also study and comprehend and understand and come at a decision. All these are uh, quite familiar in human life, but as a subhuman, you don't have access to books, knowledge, words, nothing. But still, you can manifest if you are a Sangi Panchendriya, a animal with mind. If you have a mind there, then you can manifest right belief by just looking at the deity of God or the idol of the Tirthankar. And that's why we take out processions. Many people of other faiths also, they look at the Pratima and in them, the seed is planted of right belief. These things happen. So it's a very powerful tool. That's why we have this discipline of going to temple every day in the morning, because it's every day is an opportunity for you to just manifest right belief. Now, what is left is heavenly or the celestial being. Okay. So again, there are two reasons over there. The first is Jin Mahima Darshan. Jin Mahima Darshan means glorification of Jin. So, during the Ashtanika Parva, all these celestial beings, they go to Nandishwar Deep. Okay. And we as a human cannot go there because it is beyond the Daideep. Okay. But these celestial beings, they go to the Nandishwar Deep and they observe Ashtanika Parva over there. And we could not go there, so we also observe Ashtanika Parva here in our temple. Okay. So glorification of Jinn, through that they can manifest right belief. The second is Dev Riddhi Darshan. Now, what is this Dev Riddhi? Riddhi means spatial power. Okay. So the celestial beings have some spatial powers, and through those spatial powers, they can manifest the right belief. I'll just explain you just a minute. Give me a minute. Huh? Hmm. So how it is in case of uh, how the right belief can be manifested through spatial powers of celestial beings? Uh, like they think by looking at the uh, wealth of the celestial beings, okay, they think that how did they got all this kind of the wealth, the devanganas and other things associated with a celestial being's life. And I also want to get those things, so I will also try uh, to get uh, to get that kind of spatial power. Okay. So with this thought, he could manifest the right belief. Now there are some exceptions. Uh, in the hell, listening to dharma in first three hell only. You can listen to the religious preachings in the first three narak only. Okay. The next three narak, no, there are seven naraks. So in the next four, you are not, there is no chance of you to listen to the preachings. Okay. So you cannot manifest Samyak Darshan there. Then in the case of heaven, celestial beings, they also have some special conditions, like regarding the special powers of special being, absence of visualizing the powers of supreme souls beyond 13th heaven. So there are 16 heavens in all. So from 13 to 16, they cannot manifest right belief through these spatial powers. And similarly, in case of the glorifications of Jin Indra Bhagwan, absence is beyond the 9 gravaks. Okay. So beyond the 9 gravaks, you cannot manifest right belief through the glorification of Jin. So these were some of the exceptions to that chart. Now coming on to the third tool, those people who have got intense interest, for them, these are the ways to know. It is given in the Sutra number 8. There are, I think, 8 components to that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, 8. So all the names are given in the Sutra. Sat, Sankhya, Kshetra, Sparsha, Sparshan, Kal, Kalantar, Bhaval, Bahutva, Bahutve, Scha. So the categories are mentioned in the next page in the chart. So we move to the chart, and from there only we will understand it. So what are the tools? So the first tools we discussed was Praman and Nay, people with less interest. Then people with medium interest, we discussed the 6 points. Okay. That was about Nirdesh, Swami, Sadhan, Adhikaran, Sthiti and Vidhan. And now for student with intense interest, there are 8 ways by which they can know the 3 gems and the 7 fundamentals. Okay. Again, this will be based on right faith. The example is based on right faith. We will see. The first point is Sat. Sat is the existence. Okay. What do you mean by Sat? Sat means existence. So the nature is existence. And what is in terms of based on right faith? Existence of right faith. So right faith always exists. Okay. The second is Sankhya. Sankhya is numbers, quantity. So based on mundane souls, it is innumerable, and based on liberated souls, it is infinite. Okay. So all the souls who have got liberated, those infinite souls have this right belief in them. And also in mundane souls also, there are innumerable souls who have attained right belief. Okay. Now, from the viewpoint of Kshetra, that is present place. Okay. So from the viewpoint of Chadmas means a person who is in the 1st to 12th Gunasthan. Okay, is called a Chadmas. Chadmas means he has not attained the omniscience knowledge. Okay. It is in English, it is called non-omniscient. So how many? Innumerable. Okay. Because based on mundane souls, innumerable can have right belief. So based on Chadmas also, it will be innumerable. And based on omniscient, it is again innumerable. 3 types: innumerable, then many divisions of innumerable, and the whole universe. Okay. So based on omniscient, it is this like this. The fourth, 1, 2, 3, fourth. Fourth is person. Extent of space touched. So for again non-omniscient, that is Chadmas, 8 divisions less from the 14 divisions of the universe. Okay. So the Lok Nadi, Lok Nadi के 14 भागों में से कुछ कम 8 भाग, 8 divisions less, little less than 8 divisions from the 14 divisions of the universe. So you can have right belief in any of these places. Based on omniscient, whole universe. Now, from the point of view of Kal, so all these are the tools of knowing the 7 fundamentals and the 3 gems. Kal means duration, refer to 7th sutra. So in 7th sutra, we discussed Kal or duration, time. So same minimum and a maximum that we discussed in the sutra number 7.
Rajesh,
Yeah,
Rajesh, sorry, can I disturb you?
yeah,
This earlier one where it says the 14 divisions of the universe,
yes.
is that Loknadi, is that human shape? Is that where the
Yeah,
14 coming?
right. Right.
Okay, fine. Thank you.
So Kal is same as the 7th sutra. So we are not discussing. Then Antar. What is this? Interval of time. So what is minimum and what is maximum based on one soul? Okay. Okay. Based on one soul, the minimum and maximum. In case of Upsham Samyak Drashti, it is innumerable years. Okay. And maximum would be some less from Ardh Pudgal Paravartan. So when there is Ardh Pudgal Paravartan is a very long period of time. So when a person who has attained right belief, maximum time that he can spend in this mundane existence is Ardh Pudgal Paravartan. So obviously it would be something less from Ardh Pudgal Paravartan for a Upsham, subsidential right believer. Okay. Upsham, destructional come subsidential right belief. What is the minimum and what is the maximum? Minimum is again less than 48 minutes and maximum is the same as one, something less from Ardh Pudgal Paravartan. Now the third one, the Shaik, destructive. Destructive, it has got no difference in the minimum and maximum. Okay, no difference. So this was from the interval of time. Now the 7th one, bhav. Bhav means dispositions. So there are 3 kinds of samyak darshan: subsidence, destructional, and destructional come subsidence. Then the last one is alpa bahutva, comparison of less or high knowledge. Okay. Based on mundane soul, the least are the subsidence one, greater than subsidence ones are the destructional one, and greater than destructional one are the destruction come subsidence one. Okay. So the arrows are not mentioned here. You can mark the arrow, greater than it's, greater than sign, just a side arrow. Okay. Not greater than something like that. Okay. So where it opens up, that part is greater one, and where the arrow is pointing, that is the least one. So this was all about knowing the ways to know the 7 fundamentals and the 3 gems. 3 ways. And as far as we are concerned, we are quite good with Praman and Nay. Okay. We have got very little time with us, and our intellect is also not that sharp. So for people like us, Praman and Nay are the only 2 tools through which we can know the correct understanding the 7 fundamentals and the 3 gems. Now,
Sir,
yeah,
sorry, sir, can I ask a question?
yes.
So, sir, when we talk about all these categories, so for example, after this birth, if you're not able to, of course, if you're not able to get right faith, which
Okay.
comes a little later.
Okay.
So, sir, where do we go? Because we also talked about the heaven, like, beyond 13th heaven.
Yes. Yes.
you're not
Yes.
able to acquire. I was thinking, like, logically, if a soul is, they've done good karmas, or like, if they go into a higher level of the heaven,
Hmm.
they should have that power to get the right faith there, no?
Yeah, but these two conditions, in case of celestial beings, these two conditions that that we were looking at as an external cause, okay, Jin Mahima Darshan and Dev Riddhi Darshan. These two cases, only in that case, these are the limitations. It doesn't mean that a person who is in a celestial being cannot manifest right belief. It doesn't mean that. But from these two causes, these are the exceptional. These
Okay,
two will
so
not be a cause for those celestial beings who are above 13th. Okay, for
okay,
them this could not be a cause. That is the only explanation. It
okay.
doesn't mean that they cannot manifest right belief.
So, sir, like in the case of Acharya Kunda,
Hmm.
he probably would have attained a higher level of heaven,
Yeah.
right?
So
So,
all the acharyas are mostly in higher levels of heaven, and even if you consider our point of view, from our point of view, we also will be heading there only, because the kind of auspicious karmas we bind when we do studies of this religious scriptures, it is of very high level. So um, generally speaking, it is like that only.
okay, sir. Thank you.
1.9. Okay. Hmm. So now the discussion is about the praman gyan, okay, direct knowledge, samyak gyan, right knowledge. So this will go on from ninth sutra to 32 sutra. We are going to discuss only about the right knowledge, okay, or the comprehensive knowledge. Praman gyan is also called samyak gyan, and praman gyan is also called comprehensive knowledge. So there are two types of this comprehensive knowledge. Let's first read the verse number 9. Mati srut Mati sruta avadi mana paryay kevalani jnanam. Okay. So there are knowledge is of 5 kinds. Okay. Mati gyan is sensory knowledge. Then Shrut gyan is scriptural knowledge or precisive knowledge. Here it is mentioned as precisive knowledge, but you can use it as, you can write it as scriptural knowledge. We will use common terms across everywhere. The third one is Avdigyan, called clairvoyance knowledge. The fourth is Manaparya called telepathy. And the fifth one is omniscience, Keval Gyan, that we all know. Now the 10th verse. 10th verse. These 10th verse, let's first read in Hindi. Okay. So 10th is not given here. Okay. So in Hindi it is given Tat Pramane. Okay. Uh, So all these 5 knowledge are divided into 2 forms of comprehensive knowledge or praman gyan. Okay. What are these 2 forms? Adya paroksham. 11th sutra says Adya paroksham. Means out of 5, the first 2, Adya, starting 2. Okay. Starting 2 are indirect knowledge. Okay. And the rest 3 are direct knowledge. Okay. So 5, from 5 knowledge, 2 are indirect knowledge. Which 2? The first 2. Mati Shrut. Sensory knowledge and scriptural knowledge are the indirect knowledge. Why it is indirect knowledge? Can anybody give a logic?
But it is acquired, no?
Yeah, it is acquired through the medium of senses and mind. That's why it is indirect knowledge. we cannot know any object directly from the space point of souls.
Correct.
So we know through the medium of five senses and mind. The knowledge comes from the soul itself, because when a person dies, the eyes are there, the ears are there, everything is there, but no functions is possible. Why? Because the soul has gone, and soul was having possession of knowledge. Okay. So this knowledge is of the soul, but it is being expressed through the medium of five senses and mind. Okay. So that's why it is called indirect knowledge. Okay. So Mati Gyan is also indirect knowledge, and after Mati Gyan you develop Srut Gyan, that is also through five senses and mind. So indirect and direct, to know the substance through mind and sense organs, that is sensory and scriptural knowledge. And direct is to know the substance directly with the help of soul. So soul has got innumerable space point, asankyat pradesh. So from that asankyat pradesh, the soul uh, gets the knowledge. Okay, this is called the direct knowledge. So this direct knowledge is again of two types: limited, vikal, and complete is sakal. So vikal is again of two types: clairvoyance, avdi gyan, and mana parya gyan. And the last one is complete, that is omniscience knowledge. Okay. So why this one is limited? Because these are partially direct. Clairvoyance and telepathy are partial direct, and omniscient is complete direct. So that is called limited and complete. So clairvoyance and telepathy is through clairvoyance and telepathy we can know our soul. Tell me, soul can be known through clairvoyance or telepathy?
Yes, sir.
No, because these two only knows material object. Okay. Only they are able to know through this two knowledge only material object. Okay. And soul can be known through mind. Mind is such a link that through five senses you cannot know the soul. But mind knows the um, uh, corporeal substance also and non-corporeal substance also. Okay. So
Sir,
soul
clairvoyance and telepathy both are not in the five senses, no, sir. It is beyond the five senses,
yeah,
right?
it is beyond, because it is knowing directly from
So
the space point.
so then wouldn't it know the soul? The five
No,
senses
no,
don't help
no,
you to know
no.
the soul, but
But
beyond.
through mind we can know the soul. Okay.
But
So
Avadhi is not the mind.
no, Avdi is like where you were in previous birth. Okay. Through Avdi you can know all these things. And through
Okay.
telepathy you can know the object in the mind of the other person. What he is thinking about, that you can know through telepathy. But telepathy is evolved only in right believer monks. Only monks can have telepathy, and that also the true believer monks. Okay. And Avdi Gyan could be, it is compulsory. All the celestial beings and all the hellish beings have this Avdi Gyan, clairvoyance knowledge. Okay. And because of that, they are able to know in their previous birth, he killed me. So they keep on fighting in the hell with each other. And in the celestial beings, because of their Avdigyan, they know that in previous birth, uh, she was my queen and now she is with other uh, celestial dev. So then they develop a feeling of jealousy with each other, and all this becomes a cause of their passions. Okay. So telepathy and clairvoyance are partial direct knowledge, and omniscience is complete direct knowledge.
Sir,
Huh.
sorry, sir. Can you give an example of clairvoyance?
Clairvoyance, as I said, no, in our previous birth, if somebody has inflicted pain on us, so now with this Avdigyan, you can know of your 700 previous birth. What you were 700 births ago, that also you can know. And you can also know what were the causes of your grief at that point of time, of the causes of your miseries. And by knowing the causes, by identifying that person, you try to take revenge now when you are in a hell. So these things goes on.
Thank you.
But there is a limitations of space and time for clairvoyance knowledge. And in case of telepathy also, there is a limitations of space and time. But the difference is between clairvoyance and telepathy is clairvoyance can, both can know only material substance, but telepathy can know the substance existing in the mind of the other person. Okay. So somebody is having a question in his mind. So if a monk is possessing telepathy knowledge, he will tell what the other person is thinking. And the other person then gets influenced by the monk's knowledge. Oh, he's so knowledgeable that without asking the question, he knows what I wanted to ask. And so he gets influenced by the monks, and then he adopts the religion of Jainism. And that's how the propagation of Jain Dharma is done. So
So
this,
householders will not get clairvoyance and telepathy, right? Only monks.
yeah, only monks. Only monks, and yeah, only monks. Clairvoyance and telepathy only for monks. But all the hellish being and heavenly being have by default clairvoyance knowledge. So my question, do they have sensory and scriptural knowledge also?
No.
No, they have.
Sir, who? The monks?
The hellish being and heavenly being.
Can you repeat the question, sir? Sorry.
So this clairvoyance knowledge, as I said,
They have.
Yeah, they have this clairvoyance knowledge as a default. Okay.
Correct.
So do they have also sensory and scriptural knowledge? Yes. Because otherwise, how they will manifest right belief? Right belief can be done in all the four states of existence. But only condition is that people with mind can only have the right belief. Okay. So these have also mind also.
So, sir, hellish beings, they will not necessarily have five senses, right?
They will have some senses, no?
No, they have senses, five senses.
Sensory, hellish beings
So
have.
if you are four sensed, you don't have mind. Mind comes only in the picture when you have complete five senses.
Okay. So even if there is, as long as there's one sense, they're experiencing something, and that will help with the mati gyan.
So one sensed have mati gyan, but without mind, you cannot manifest right belief. So one sense cannot have right belief, two sense cannot have, three sense cannot have, four sense cannot have, even five sense cannot have. There are animals where they are five sensed, but they are without mind. And also there are some animals like toad, frog. Frog is a five sensed being with mind and without mind also. Similarly, the snake is again a five sensed being with mind and without mind. Some snakes have mind and some snakes don't have mind. So those who are having mind, they can only manifest right belief. Those who are without mind, they don't have any efforts, anything in terms of efforts. There is only one way. They are just experiencing the fruits of the karmas. Nothing else. No efforts can be made over there. Okay. Only the person who have got mind, they can put in they can put in efforts. They have a choice. They can exercise their choices. All these benefits are there for a five sense being, and they are only the people who can manifest right belief. So there is a comparison coming up between sensory and scriptural knowledge and omniscience knowledge. Okay. Important information related to knowledge. Okay. What is this? Okay. So sensory and precisive knowledge, Mati Shrut Gyan. Our present knowledge is Mati Shrut Gyan. Okay. Our present knowledge, we as a human being, our present knowledge is Mati Shrut Gyan. Omniscient knowledge, omniscience knowledge we have. Do we have omniscience knowledge? Yes, we have as our nature. Okay. As an attribute, we have this attribute in us, omniscience knowledge, but it is not being expressed now. Okay. So what is Keval Gyan? Keval Gyan is our pure nature. It's our nature of our pure soul. The second point of difference is dependency. So this sensory and scriptural knowledge is a dependent knowledge because it can be expressed through the medium of 5 senses and mind. Whereas the omniscience knowledge knows directly, so it is self-dependent. The third point of difference is the order. To know the substance through senses in order. Okay. So you cannot know all the objects of all the senses simultaneously. There is a sense of order, one at a time. Okay. So the other day, not the other day, in the previous SEM, no, in the third SEM, we studied about in Moksha Marg Prakashak that how our the limitations of our sensory and scriptural knowledge. When we were discussing that, I gave you an example of crow. A crow has 2 eyes, but only 1 pupil, and it rotates so fast that nobody can make out that crow is looking from 1 eye only. Okay, because it rotates so fast. Similarly, we can know one object at a time. That is the limitation of our Mati Shrut Gyan. Okay. So while we are driving, that's why the mobile phones are banned, because if our attention goes on talking, although we will be driving, our eyes are open, still we could not see the object and there will be an accident. Okay. Because multitasking is not something that is real. It is just imagination, because the active consciousness, the upyog, rotates so fast that we feel that I'm also driving the car, I'm also talking on phone, and there is a music also being played. I'm doing everything simultaneously. You do multitasking in your kitchen, there is something on the nowadays we have most people have 4 stoves. So on one stove the water is being heated up, and the other there is a milk, and the other is some vegetables you are doing, and one more you are doing chapati and all. So all things happening, and you feel that you are doing multitasking, but somewhere or the other you are at fault, because our active consciousness can get to know one object at a time. That is our limitation. So to know the substance through senses in order, not at a time. But in omniscience knowledge, knowing all the substance in one glance without the help of any senses. That is the difference. The fourth one is temporary. Due to destruction comes subsidence, so it's temporary. Okay. Sayopshamik hone se kshanik hai. Due to destruction comes substance, so it is temporary. Okay. And this is permanent. Okay. That is temporary. Mati Shrut Gyan is temporary, because we also can manifest omniscience knowledge. And when we manifest omniscience knowledge, the sensory and scriptural knowledge and clairvoyance knowledge and telepathy, all 4 knowledge are not there. There is only one omniscience knowledge, because it is complete knowledge. It covers the knowledge of all the other four. So when clairvoyance gets manifested, all the four are not there. So it is a permanent and this is temporary. The fifth point, it keeps on increasing and decreasing, and here it remains same standard knowledge. The last point, it's a knowledge through senses. It's a sensory knowledge, and here it is knowledge beyond senses. Okay. So we have finished 12th. Now we will see the 13th one. Mati, matiha, smritiha, sangya, chinta, abhinibodha, ityanthan, ityanarthantram. Okay. So these are the different names of this sensory knowledge only. Okay. Step by step we will see from the chart. The first one is mati. Mati actually means buddhi, you know. So mati means sensory cognition, knowledge through sense and mind. Okay. That is called mati. The second is smriti. Smriti means remembrance, memory. Okay. That is memory. The third is sanjana. Sangya, sorry. It is sangya. It is called sangya. It is also called pratyabhigyan. In Hindi, we call it pratyabhigyan. In English, we call it recognition or connecting knowledge. Okay. So how it is a connecting knowledge, I'll tell you that we initially, the whole process you understand. Initially, it happens darshan, okay, perception, then comes knowledge. Which knowledge? The mati gyan, sensory cognitions. Then it happens the smriti, remembrance or memory. And then recognition, that is connecting knowledge. So connecting knowledge happens when you have an object in front of you plus your past memory. So present object plus past memory is called connecting knowledge. Like you were carrying an umbrella, there was raining, it was raining, so you carried an umbrella and you put it in, you went to a shop and you put it outside and you went to do the shopping. While you were shopping, the rain stopped and you made the payment and you came out and you forgot the umbrella to take it from where you have kept. While you were on the road, you saw the umbrella of another person. And you remembered, oh, my umbrella, I left it at the shop. So this clicking of this knowledge that I forgot my umbrella is called connecting knowledge. Then we have the fourth one, chinta. Chinta is logic or argument or induction. Okay. It is also called induction. In Hindi, it is called tark. Chinta is a Hindi word only. Chinta means chintan, then tark, then we have vyapti. All these are different names for the same word. It's synonymous names only. And the last one is abhinibodh. Abhinibodh is also called anuman. Anuman is inference or deduction. So to get to anuman, this is the process that you have to undergo. You cannot cut short this process. Okay. First of all, it will be mantri, then it will be smruti, then sangya, then chinta, then abhinibodh. So this is the process. So it may happen that sometimes you go up to memory, then you come back again. Sometimes you go up to sangya, then come back again. So it keeps on happening that way. Only you can go to anuman just by this process. You cannot skip smriti in between and go to sangya. Okay. From mati to sangya, you cannot go directly. You have to get to smriti and then only you can go to sangya. So this process has to be followed. So the first one was sensory cognition. I'm giving an example of this sensory cognition. The student reads his textbook and studies them. Okay. When it comes to understanding the core principles of Jain philosophy, this is the first step. You should read the textbook. If one will develop curiosity and take efforts to make decisions followed by a clear judgment, that helps one retain the subject. Okay. Then only we will be able to remember the subject over time. So first part is registering it in the mind. The second part is retention and then recall. Okay. So whatever you have retained and recalled, that only can be, you can again come back to that knowledge. So critical thinking and analysis with retention are sensory cognition. The second is smruti or memory or remembrance. Okay. So the student remembers the subject that he had read while writing his exam. So this is, you can write in the exams only if you have that in memory. If you forget, then you are gone. So this memory plays a significant role in our day-to-day life because at every step we use our memory to execute our daily activities. Like if you are cooking, we need to remember what spices are already added. If we are performing on stage, we need to remember our lines, dance moves, and so on. We remember names, experiences, activities, and several other things daily. So some people have very sharp memory and some others don't have sharp memory. It's all variable. Then we have pratyabhigyan, the connecting knowledge, recognition. So the jati smaran gyan, the knowledge of your previous births, that is only a part of this remembrance or smriti, memory. Okay. The third in the sequence is pratyabhigyan or sangya, or it is called recognition or connecting knowledge. Okay. The combined knowledge of the present known object and the one that exists in memory is known as recognition. Like the person saw the umbrella, so in front of his eyes there was umbrella, and he remembered his own umbrella which was in memory. So that is called connecting knowledge. So these are of different kinds that we are not going into the details, but there are 4 or 5 kinds of there are 4 or 5 kinds of this connecting knowledge. The fourth one in the sequence is the chinta. Chinta is nothing but induction or logic
So lie down.
or argument. 1 minute. I'll mute Aditi. Okay. So, chinta, yeah, we were discussing the chinta. Based on cognition, remembrance, and recognition. All 3 steps you have to take, the previous 3 ones, okay? Based on cognition, remembrance, and recognition, when we establish relations between the means and the attainable. Means is sadhan and attainable is sadhya. Sadhya and sadhan. Sadhan is means and sadhya is what we want, attainable. So like if there is a fire on the hill, you can very well assume, no, if you see smoke in the hill, then you can come to a conclusion that there is fire on the mountain. How? Because fire and smoke have this kind of relationship. There cannot be smoke without fire. Okay, this is the logic. So this is called logic. So the student, another example is the student establishes that when the bell rings, it is time to submit the answer paper. The established relationship, like wherever there is a smoke, there is fire, is known as logic. So if we smoke from a distance, we instantly know that there is a fire at that place too, based on the logic that we have evolved. Okay. Then the last one, Anuman. Now this Anuman is not the estimation or guesswork that we normally use in our common parlance. It is a special kind of knowledge which has evolved because of the first four processes: Mati Gyan, then Smruti, then Sangya, then Chinta, and then comes the Anuman or inference or deduction. Okay. The knowledge of the attainable by knowing the means is known as inference. साधन से साध्य का ज्ञान, ये अनुमान ज्ञान है. साधन से साध्य का ज्ञान. The knowledge of the attainable, that is sadhya, by knowing the means, sadhan, is known as inference. The relations that were established using logic are used while deducting conclusions in inference. Logic and inference have a cause and effect relationship. Okay. So if you want to come to inference, you have to apply the logic. Logic is the cause and the effect is the inference. So the bell rang and the student submitted the paper. That is called inference. He saw smoke in the kitchen. So infer that the stove is switched on. Okay. So based on certain indications, we can have the. So now this is a very calculative knowledge. It is not a guesswork or estimation, but this is a very scientific way of arriving at a deduction. Okay, this is called inference knowledge. So all these are part of the comprehensive knowledge. Okay, comprehensive knowledge. We are discussing comprehensive knowledge from the 9th sutra only. Okay, so our time is over. We will start from the 14th sutra in the next class. Okay. I think 23rd is the last date for your Gandhar Mulyankan. So only 4 people have submitted so far. Rajeshri ji, then Shashikala ji, then Jinali, and today Aditi Jain. So all they have done all the 3 things. So all the rest of you must be working on it, but you submit at the earliest. Don't be waiting for the last day to submit, And the day you submit, I will ask you 3 questions the same day based on your submission, or some general questions also I may ask. And then subsequently you have to submit the what you call CC1. Okay, that is the last date is I think 2nd April, 2nd or 3rd April. Okay. If you have any questions, quickly we can take up. Otherwise, we will meet in the next class.
Sir,
Yeah.
can we next class maybe can we talk about like how sensory knowledge is different from the Shrut Gyan? Because Shrut
Okay.
Gyan I thought was more like
So in
more
Vitrag
related.
Vigyan, we have studied this chapter of Mati Gyan and Sud Gyan and all. So you can just brush it up. Okay.
Okay, sir.
And we will definitely discuss the difference between the Mati Gyan and the Sud Gyan. Otherwise, I will share the difference also
Okay.
on the group. Okay.
Thank you,
But we'll
sir.
discuss. If it's still not clear, we'll definitely discuss.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. So, निज निधि निज में बताई, यह अनंत उपकार है, उसके लिए जिन वाणी माँ को वंदना सत बार है, उसके लिए जिन वाणी माँ को वंदना सत बार है.